So in the previous lecture we have seen that the concept of single inheritance, after that multiple inheritance, then hierarchical inheritance, then multi-level inheritance, and after that we have seen the concept of hybrid inheritance. So our unit number 6 is finished with these 5 topics. Okay, so today we are going to see the practical one by one based on this unit. So today we are going to cover the practical number 7, that is implementation of single and multiple inheritance. Okay. So first of all, tell me what is the meaning of single inheritance? What is single inheritance? Can anybody tell me? Tell me what is single inheritance? Vishal, roll number 39. Tell me what is single inheritance? So in a single inheritance, what happens? One base class is there, and from that one base class, we are able to derive only one derived class. Okay. So in a single inheritance, one base class is there and one derived class is there. So for that, we are going to see a program. So see here, what happens? Whatever may be the data members and member function which are present in a base class, we are going to inherit the data member and member function into the derived class, and we are create the object with the help of the class name of derived class, and we are creating object by the name of derived class. Okay, so first of all I will create here one class, that is class A. Okay, so that class A is nothing but the base class. Okay, so here I am going to declare one member function. So we are going to see simple example. So I am going to declare here one integer member, that is integer x. Okay, now I am going to display one function. So I am going to display here one function, that is void display. Void display function I am declare here, and in that display function, what will we do? We will do, we are going to enter the value of x, means we are going to read the value of x. So first of all we are write the cout statement, and in that cout statement we are writing like that: enter the value of x, enter the value of x. Okay, now write here end l. End l means our control will move to the next line. Now we are going to read the value of x, that is c in x. Is it clear? And that class will close with a semicolon. So when we are going to put semicolon here, it means that the class definition should be completed. Okay, now we are going to declare another class, that is class B. Okay, and we are going to inherit the data from class A. So for that we are going to declare here, means first of all write the access specifier, and after that the name of the class from which we are going to inherit the data. Okay, now here again I am going to declare one integer variable, that is integer y. So I will make that integer y. Okay, now I am going to write here public, semicolon should be there, colon should be there. Now again I am call here one function, that is void read. Okay, I am calling another function, that is void read, and in that read function what will we do? We are going to enter the value of y. So cout enter the value of y. enter the value of y and endl semicolon, and again read the value of y by the cin statement, and with the help of that closing bracket we are going to close the class b. Okay, so in a main function we are going to declare main function here, and after declaring the main function we are going to create the object, and object should be created by the name of derived class. So I will create object here obj. Okay, and with the help of name of the object and dot resolution operator we are going to call the functions. Okay, so after calling this function we are going to type one return statement. So this is one simple program, so that program will use the value of x and y. So when I run this program, so what will happen, see here, it will ask enter the value of y, only it will ask enter the value of y. So one member function that we are going to forward type here, so obj dot display. Okay, so when I run this program, at that time it will ask enter the value of x and enter the value of y. So I will enter the value of x and y. So see here, I will create the object for only class b. Okay, when I create the object for class b, so it will automatically read the value of integer x and integer y. Okay, and in the concept of class and object, what happens whenever we are going to create the object and we are going to display the member functions, or simply we can say that the data member of that particular class, so we have to create the object for that particular class. But in inheritance, what happens, once we are going to inherit the member function and data member of a base class into the derived class, we are going to create the object by the name of derived class. So b is a derived class from the class a, so here we are going to create the object by the name of derived class. Okay, and then we are going to display the content, that is the value of x and value of y. Okay, and if you want to do the simply addition, so you can add here some function, sum equal to x plus y, and write down here cout statement. Here we have to declare some variable comma sum. Okay, and write down cout statement here, sum equals to, so some variable is there. Okay, sum. Okay, so end this. So when we are going to run this program, what happens, sum does not name a type. Okay, so simply we are going to write here one simply cout statement. Just wait. Instead of sum, we can directly put the value of x plus y. So let's see what will happen. So I'm going to enter the value of x as a 10, y as a 20, and if I enter sum equal to 30. So this is the simple program with the help of the concept of single inheritance. सिंगल मध्ये काय केलं, एक क्लास क्रिएट केला, दॅट इज क्लास ए, बरोबर आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये एक इंटिजर व्हेरिएबल मी काय केलं, डिक्लेअर केलं, दॅट इज इंटिजर एक्स. त्याची व्हॅल्यू काय केली या ठिकाणी मी रीड केली विथ द हेल्प ऑफ सी इन ऑपरेटर. ओके, नाव in a I'm create here another class that is class B, and the value of x that I inherited from class A to class B, म्हणजे x ची व्हॅल्यू कुठे आली तुमची B मध्ये आली, बरोबर आहे. आणि क्लास B मध्ये काय केलं मी, एक आणखी व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेअर केला दॅट इज y. ओके, सो now with the help of cout and cin statement I am going to enter the value of y. Okay, now class B will contain x and y, so I am going to print simple sum here, sum equals to, and with the help of that extraction operator, if I write here x plus y, so it will give the addition, that is 10 plus 20 equal to 30. So this is the simple example of single inheritance. सिंगल इनहेरिटन्स मध्ये काय असते, एक बेस क्लास असते आणि एक डिराइव्ड क्लास असते. सो वॉट एव्हर मे बी द डेटा मेंबर्स अँड मेंबर फंक्शन शुड बी प्रेझेंट इन अ derived base class, that data members and member functions are going to copy into the derived class, and here in a main function we are going to create the object by the name of derived class, and with the name of object and dot resolution operator we are going to call the respective functions. Okay, so with the help of that we are able to copy the data, or simply we can say that with the help of that we are able to print the data in a console screen. Okay, so this is the simple example of single inheritance. So you can simply take the example. During our lecture we have seen the example of one students. Okay, that candidate will have its own id name, and we are uh, print that particular candidate will have their own id name, and we are going to print their marks according to subjects. So for that we are going to see the simple example. Now for this practical purpose I am going to simply print the addition of two numbers. Okay, now our next point is implementation of multiple inheritance. Single inheritance example झालं. Now we are going to see the example of multiple inheritance. In a multiple inheritance what happens, one more than one base class should be present, and from that class and with the help of that class we are going to derive one single class. Okay, so for that we are going to see the example. I'm going to delete this. So see here, we know that our program is always starts with the header file. Okay, so hash include iostream. So that iostream should be stands for the input output, that is cout and cin, and using namespace std. If we are not write this statement, so what happens? Every cout, every cin, every endl statement we have to put std and double colon. So to avoid this repeated work, we are writing here using namespace std. It means that it is going to provide scope to the particular operator. So this is the meaning of namespace std. So now we are going to see the example of multiple inheritance. So exactly what happens there? In this type of inheritance what happens, more than one base class should be present, and from that base classes we are going to derive one single class. So for that we are going to one again simple example, and that example should be like that. In a class A we are going to declare one integer variable, in a class B we are going to declare another integer variable, and in a class C we are going to do the addition of that variable. So see here, we are going to declare here one variable, that is integer x. Okay, now with the help of display function we are going to create again here one display function, and with the help of the display function we are going to read the value of x by the operator, that is cout operator. We are going to enter the value of x. So right here value enter the value of x. Okay, and write down here endl, means our control will move to the next line. Okay, and with the help of cin statement we are going to read the value of x. So we are going to read here value of x. Okay, semicolon, we are going to put here semicolon, and every class should ends with the semicolon. So we are going to put here semicolon. So here, see here, we are going to create one class, that is class A. In that class A, I am declare one integer variable and I am declare one member function here. So we are going to make that member function should be the public. And if we are going to write here access specifier as a public, so automatically this function will become the private function. And when that data members and member function will become a private, at that time it is not possible for us to inherit that data from one class to another class. Okay, so again here I am going to declare another class, that is class B, and again in that class B I am going to declare integer y. Okay, now I'm going to create one function, that is again uh, void disk, something. You can give any name to that function, and in that I am going to enter the value of y. We, with the help of operator, that is cout, enter the value of y, enter the value of y, and we are going to write here endl statement. It means that our control will move to the next line. Okay, end here. Now here I am going to write cin, and with the help of that cin operator we are able to read the value of y, and now we are going to close the class, that is class B. So see here, we are going to declare two separate classes, that is class A and class B. So class A contain the value of x and class B contain the value of y. Now we are going to declare here class C, and in that class C, and in that class C we are going to perform the addition of this integer x and integer y. So I am going to declare here one function, one member function, that is one integer variable, that is integer sum. Okay, now I am going to create one member function here, what void sum. Okay, and in that member function I am going to perform the addition of x plus y, x plus y, where it is, x plus y, and write down here cout statement. So cout is sum equals to sum equals to, and call that sum variable. Okay, and I am going to close the class, that is class C, but that class C should inherit the data from class A. So write down here access specifier public A, and we are going to inherit the data also from class B. So write down here public B. Okay, now
सर पब्लिक बी क्लास बी मध्ये लिहिलंच नाही तुम्ही पब्लिक.
okay, now I am going to close the class that with the semicolon. Okay, now we are going to declare here main function. So after declaring main function we are going to create the object for, we are going to create object for derived class. So here C is a derived class, and we are going to object for derived class, that is obj. Okay, that obj object that we are created for derived class, and we are simply, we are going to call here obj dot sum function. Let's see what will be our output. Return 0, semicolon. Okay, what happens? Just wait for 1 minute. Okay, so now we are going to run this program. It will give previous declaration integer c semicolon sum. So simply it is better we are going to delete this one. Instead of that we are going to write here x plus y. Now run this code. What happens? Integer x declared private here. Okay, so these are the private data members, so that's why we are not able to do integer x and integer y, so make them as a public. So if the data members are private, so it is not possible for us. Okay, so can anybody tell me why that garbage value will appear here?
खालचं पब्लिक काढा की
कुठलं?
क्लास बी मध्ये 2 वेळा पब्लिक झाले.
ए आणि बी मधलं 2 वेळा पब्लिक
हे जे आपले डेटा मेंबर्स आहे, डेटा मेंबर्स काय केले आपण पब्लिक केले, बरोबर आहे. आणि मेंबर फंक्शन पण आपण पब्लिक ठेवलेत, बरोबर आहे. याच्याने तुम्हाला काही फरक पडणार नाही. Why garbage value will appear here? Listen properly. We are not going to call this display function and this function to enter the value of x and y. So our compiler will take any random value. So I will call that function. So see here. So I will call that function obj dot display. So see here properly. Obj dot display and obj dot disp. obj.disp. So now see here, it will ask us enter the value of x. We are entering value of x as a 10. We are entering value of y as a 20, and then we will use the sum as a 30. Why garbage value will appear here? See here. What happens? We are not going to call these two functions, that is display and this function, because this function is responsible, or this function is able to read the value of x, and this function is able to read the value of y. Okay, आपण हे दोन फंक्शन कॉल केले नाहीत. मग काय झालं कंपायलरने? Even though class C will contain the x and y, class C will contain the x and y, but user cannot give input टू द व्हॅल्यू ऑफ एक्स अँड वाय. म्हणजे एक्स आणि वाय ची व्हॅल्यू आपण काही डिसाईड केली नव्हती, बरोबर आहे. तर कंपायलरने काय केली, कुठली तरी गार्बेज व्हॅल्यू घेतली आणि त्याची सम प्रिंट केली. ओके, सो when we are going to call this display function with the help of object name and dot operator, so at that time our control will goes here, and at that time it will ask us enter the value of x, and then we are going to enter the value of x as a 10. So you can enter any value instead of 10, and when we are going to call this function, at that time our control will goes here and it will ask us enter the value of y. So we are going to enter the value of y, and when we are going to call that sum function, so with the help of that sum function we are able to print the sum of integer x and integer y. Is it clear? So is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So our practical number 7 is completed. That is implementation of single inheritance and multiple inheritance. So in a single inheritance, what happens? In that only one base class should be there, and from that base class we are going to derive one single class. So single base class and single derived class. Okay. In a multiple inheritance, what happens? Base classes should be the more than one, means their number should be the more than one, but derived class should be the only one, means more than one base classes we are going to derive one single we are going to derive, or we are going to create one single derived class. Okay, so this is the concept of multiple inheritance. Okay, so you should try another example for single inheritance and send me the output. I think in a last lecture you are applying the single inheritance ना. लास्ट लेक्चरला तुम्ही सिंगल इनहेरिटन्सचा एक्झाम्पल केला आहे ना.
हो सर.
हा सर.
So in this lecture, you should apply the concept of multiple inheritance and send me the output on my WhatsApp. Okay, and from 2 o'clock you should appear for the quiz which is based on inheritance. So all of you should write your roll number in a chat box.
सर मल्टिपल इनहेरिटन्सचा करायचं आहे का?
मल्टिपल इनहेरिटन्सचा तुम्ही आणखी एक दुसरा एक्झाम्पल घ्या आणि सॉल्व करा ते. मीन्स यू शुड राईट द प्रोग्राम फॉर दॅट. आता सिंपल मी काय केलं होतं, एक इंटिजर एका क्लासमध्ये एक
Single.
व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेअर केला, बरोबर आहे. दुसऱ्या क्लासमध्ये एक व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेअर केला, दॅट इज एक्स अँड वाय. मल्टिपलचं हे बघा, क्लास ए मध्ये काय केलं, इंटिजर एक्स डिक्लेअर केलं, क्लास बी मध्ये काय केलं, इंटिजर वाय डिक्लेअर केलं, बरोबर आहे. अँड क्लास सी मध्ये काय केलं, ए आणि बी चा डेटा घेतला आणि त्यांची सम काय केली, प्रिंट केली, बरोबर आहे. तर तुम्ही मल्टिपल इनहेरिटन्स साठी आणखी दुसरा एक्झाम्पल घ्या, कुठला घेऊ शकताय. कारण ज्यावेळेस आपण मल्टिपल इनहेरिटन्सचा ज्यावेळेस कन्सेप्ट घेतला होता, त्यावेळेस काय केलं होतं, आपण तुम्हाला बॅटचा एक्झाम्पल दिला होता. बॅट इज अ मॅमल्स अँड बॅट इज अ विंग ॲनिमल. ओके, नाव प्रॅक्टिकल मध्ये काय केलं, तुम्हाला सिम्पली दोन व्हेरिएबल घेऊन त्यांची सम प्रिंट केली. आता तुम्ही एक तिसरा एक्झाम्पल काहीतरी घ्या. समजलं का? समजलं का?
सर आणखीन सांगा.
मल्टिपल इनहेरिटन्सचा मी हा एक एक्झाम्पल घेतलाय तुम्हाला, बरोबर आहे.
हा सर.
हा, तुम्ही पुन्हा प्रोग्राम जो लिहायचा आहे तो मल्टिपल इनहेरिटन्स साठीच लिहायचा आहे, पण काहीतरी वेगळं करा. म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये वाटलं तुम्हाला सबस्ट्रॅक्शन करा, डिव्हिजन करा, मल्टिप्लिकेशन करा, किंवा आणखी स्टुडंट आय डी घ्या एकाच्यामध्ये दुसऱ्या क्लासमध्ये काय घ्या, त्या कॅन्डिडेटचं नेम घ्या आणि क्लास सी मध्ये त्याचा आयडी आणि नेम प्रिंट करा, किंवा एक एम्प्लॉय घ्या. एक सिंपल एक्झाम्पल सांगतोय, सगळ्यांनी करा ते कॉमन. ठीक आहे. सो सी हियर, you should create one class, that is class employee. ठीक आहे. त्या क्लासमध्ये काय करा, एम्प्लॉयची आयडी क्रिएट करा, बरोबर आहे. जसं इंटिजर एक्स आपण दिलं होतं ना, तशी त्या एम्प्लॉयची आयडी लिहा. नंतर एक सेकंड क्लास क्रिएट करा, त्या क्लासमध्ये काय करा, एम्प्लॉयचं नेम डिस्प्ले करा आणि सी क्लास घ्या. त्या क्लासमध्ये काय करा, एम्प्लॉयची सॅलरी प्रिंट झाली पाहिजे अलॉंग विथ देअर आयडी अँड नेम. समजलं का? समजलं की नाही?
हो सर. हो सर.
हा, तर ते वाला प्रोग्राम करा आणि त्याचा आउटपुट मला व्हॉट्सअप करा. आणि ते प्रोग्राम झाल्यानंतर ऑल ऑफ यू शुड गो फॉर द क्विज. ते प्रोग्रामचा आउटपुट मला सेंड केल्यानंतर मग तुम्ही क्विज सॉल्व्ह करा. ठीक आहे. All of you should write your roll number in a chat box. Only 17 students should write their roll numbers. Okay, so today we will stop here and all of you